on Netflix.
I love you, Poppy.
Hey, V, line them up.
What up, CBR fam? We back in it
Yo,
once again. We know we've been
been a
away
lot of money.
for a few,
Been a lot of money.
well, for about 2 weeks now. We've been away for 2 weeks now. The last episode was the Trooper Walsh episode.
Yeah. Merry
We
Christmas.
got the
Oh, Happy
Illinois
New Year.
boys in the back.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. How was y'all holidays? We got CJ, Dimitri, Mikey Marsh, and Adam Salad waiting in the back. They're gonna be out here in a little bit.
All in this
So
thing.
we happy to be putting on for Illinois. And we got Keno too. So we got five dudes from Illinois that's gonna come and give y'all the Chondro game. All of them rather successful at this point in time. Illinois seems like it's gonna be, it's gonna be, a state to look out for, man.
Hey, we on a ride.
Everybody talking about Florida and Texas.
We finna be all the way up. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, all the way up.
We coming.
Who we got in the chat already? We got Chris. Shout out to Chris from Innerbox 3D. We got Mikey Marsh in the back. We got CJ Freedom Boys. Them boys is about to get free. We got Trey. We got 217 Pythons. We got cousin Earls. Earls, how's it feel to be a grandpa at this point in time? I know Christmas got your ass, your daddy and a grandpa.
Oh, man.
But yeah, man, it's good to be back. So yeah, y'all seeing a new modified schedule. We'll do 2 shows a month. They'll be the way it's looking right now because of the way it's scheduled so far. Be the first and third Tuesday of every month. You'll see us. And we got some heat lined up for you, man. This is the first. This is the first of the shows. So I feel.
Hey, Dylan, I ain't
checked
in a few hours, so I ain't
to have a show.
I'm gonna check out the show. I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to that.
But it feels good to have
man,
Keno and the rest of the Illinois boys out here. What'd you say?
I don't know.
What are you doing?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. It seems like it's a delay when you hear me.
No, it seems fine.
No, it seems like it's a delay.
It seems fine. I don't know. I can hear you. This sounds fine to me.
Hopefully no delay.
But yeah.
Yeah, shout out to that new
I think it's fine.
Man. Keep eating that Trooper Walsh episode up, man. That was when we look back at it, I think 10 years from now, YouTube's still live. If the world ain't been obliterated from World War III, we're gonna be able to look back on that. That's gonna be a classic. That's gonna be one episode that's gonna be in the rafters. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Tim Moores for coming through and sitting with Trooper. It really helped. So shout out to Tim for sitting with him. Also, man, shout out to Bill from Country Boy Chondros because he brought Tim to us, man. So
yeah, shout out to Bill. Hey, Bill, I saw you call when you earlier. I was doing some shit with the kids. You know how they go. I'll call you back. I'll hit you back up tomorrow morning. After I leave the gym. Hey, shout out to new goals, man. This ain't no new 2025 stuff, and I'll be gone for 2 weeks, but I'm finna get back in the gym. And another thing I want to talk about when you were a parent on the sports team, bro. Yo, eating habits be real bad. Eating habits fucked up. Be terrible.
I mean, I think it's just part of it. I don't think it's just that. I just think it's anytime where you spend like a extended period of time away from home, you just trying to eat where you can, and it's
you losing
hard when
cooking
you live in
hours
a
and
life
shit. Yeah,
when you off schedule, like even for people that constantly travel, especially for the people that do a lot of things at night. Like now it's a little bit better where you can get food and stuff at night, but for a long time, man, you might be assed out even if you're in a hotel that's got room service. So shout out to the people that moving around constantly.
yeah, yeah. Get back in that gym, get your body right,
My
get your health
brother.
right. That was rough.
Yeah, man. It's taxing on you, especially incorporating that in your schedule. But we gotta
Yeah,
live. We gotta live for our kids, our significant others, and the other people that expect Christmas presents from us. That
for
shit ain't
sure.
gonna die. So you gotta stay healthy. You got anything that you want to announce, Kino?
I ain't really got no announcements now. I got a multiple snakes and shit. Other than that, I ain't really got no announcements, man. The Cyclones babies, the few I got, held back
Yeah,
doing fine. My Sarong was doing
good.
fine. Um, shit, my little juveniles, some of those growing up doing fine. Lemon Blade, you know. Oh shit, my fault. I just disturbed him drinking. My bad, but yeah, the whole gang is doing fine over here, man. Nobody, I ain't had no deaths. Everybody's still rocking
Yeah.
and rolling, so.
Everybody stayed in the main room, not the upper room.
Yeah, ain't nobody went to the upper room yet. You know, she ain't had no death for probably about 6 months.
Yeah.
You know, since Ghost got up out of his jam. But you know how
Yeah.
that
Shout
go.
out to Ghost, man. Rest in peace to Ghost. Yeah, man.
Other than that, you know, I
Ain't
ain't
no
got no
anything got
complaints, man. We in a new year. Shout out to
New
another year of
Year,
the
new
bar
me.
room. This what we got. This gonna be in what, our third year?
We've been on for 2+ years at this point in time. We going into our third year. It'll be 3 years in like August.
Yeah, it's like the fall. Like
August
the
or
fall to be
September.
like the third year of the Chondro Bar Room.
Yeah, it'll be in August or September. It'll be before September. I think it's August.
It'll be like really like 3.5
Uh,
years, but this be like the official like 3 years on YouTube.
yeah. I don't really got anything. I guess that eventually, like, I'll start posting pictures of sarongs for sale. They'll all be yellow. Um, so that'll happen. And then there'll be some
Hey,
other
so for you
snakes that'll
real
be up for
lovers,
sale.
sorry about y'all, but if you want a quality locality animal or something, you know, they ain't gonna beat you over the head, ain't gonna break your pocket. You know, hit up Trav. Be on the lookout for them sarongs. Um, honestly, man, if you serious only, go to them early. You know, get it out the way early. You know, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Cause listen, look, but listen, you only got to go to them early if you serious. That's why I said I'm not gonna do this serious inquiries only. Nah, man, if you got some serious, if you serious about, you got a little money to spend after you took care of the family for the holidays. You want to treat yourself a little bit. You don't want to have to, break your pocket. Hit up Trav, man. He got some quality shit for sale. He makes sure things be eaten. They got size on them. And, you know. Hey, he ain't been let
Probably something else.
he ain't been let you ain't even been letting them Sarongs go. So
Yeah, I haven't let anything go.
yeah,
It'll be some babies from the Sarong Biak clutch. They'll go up. It'll happen eventually. Those yellow sarongs, they'll be the first to go up. But that's pretty much it, man. I'm too lazy to actually do anything to officially put them up for sale. I doubt I'll go back on Morph Market because I really don't give a fuck.
I was about to say, do you
And,
think this is off kind of off topic, but do you think the morph market shit is worth it? Because I know you got to pay now, right?
I mean, you had to pay it in. So the thing about Morph Market that I will say, uh, is like it works, but it's also like you're gonna talk to a lot of people that you don't really want to fucking talk to. And it's not that you don't want to talk about snakes, it's just if you hit me up, and this is what everybody, it's not just a me thing. So don't think it's just me sounding like a bitch. But that shit, like everybody hits you up, it's like, is it for sale? How many meals has it had? Did you count the ventricle scales on it? Like, and then everybody wants new pictures. It's just like, bro, I'm not. After you buy it, bro, I'll give you pictures as much as you want to. I mean, shit, I've bought snakes. I got a snake that I bought recently. New pictures. They probably want nudes too.
Okay.
But I got a snake that I bought.
I'm about to say, you giving away news with the snake, that's a hell of a deal. Somebody might out there want to jump on that.
Let's keep it a buck, bro. Like, we got some people in the reptile community on OnlyFans. I don't know how that's working out for them, but we are aware of such activity.
I was honestly thinking about it. Start me on one. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'll do no fairies. Huh?
What is it? Just gonna be you?
All right, man.
Or you with bitches?
I got you. I mean, you got to subscribe, brother.
I'm not subscribing to see that. I'll give you a couple dollars as support.
Hey, look, bro.
I feel like Keno.
No homo.
Keno just gonna see you
subscribe and just being my dog. That's all.
He probably not even gonna really put on OnlyFans. He'll be like, "Yo, send me $20 and I'll send you a picture of my nipple, only the right one."
Nah, I ain't saying I never pictures, but hey, look, you subscribe to my OnlyFans. Hey, just look out for that link in the future.
Look out for the link
subscribe to it.
All right, man.
You subscribe to it. You got to pull up. You might see something. Hey, look, the subscribers is gonna stay private. I'll never disclose who the subscribers are. You know?
I know at least 2 people that would subscribe to whatever Keno's OnlyFans is.
2 people who?
I know 2 people. I'm not gonna say their names. I'm not doing that. Yeah. But
it's gonna be like $100 a month. It's gonna be premium content on there. It's gonna be, you know what I'm saying? Hey,
I also think it's weird that that there's people that like will go up there and show their butthole and they'll only make like $50 in a month. Like, you don't ruin your future for $50 a month.
That's wild. That's crazy.
Yeah. The turnover rate is high.
What? Wait, the turnover rate is
the turnover rate is high. It's not.
You like a scout? You like a lead scout
like
for OnlyFans or something?
Something like it. Treated like the minor leagues, baseball minor leagues. But yeah, I think that we've done enough fucking around. That's all the announcements that we got for y'all. We're gonna bring in our guests, man, because they got
the website.
Yeah. We're gonna bring in our guest, man. So shout out Illinois. First, we're gonna bring in CJ because the first thing he gonna say is free the boys. We got Dimitri too. We got Mikey Marsh. We got Adam Salad, aka Turd Ferguson. Hey, Salad. I gotta tell you something, man, bro. It is not about Turd Ferguson. So I'm still kind of fucking mad about the Guy Fieri picture. Me with the Guy Fieri hair. I'm still kind of mad. I'm still kind of mad because that shit was actually
Pat, what's
funny.
Going on, Pat?
Because that shit was fire. That's right.
But the problem is I had one of those Guy Fieri cigars, man. That motherfucker was good. So I can't be that bad. I can't be that mad, bro. Like, because I am a fan of Guy Fieri, So, I like his shows, but I'm still kind of mad that you literally put a picture of Guy Fieri hair on my fucking dreads. That shit didn't make no sense. I'm still mad about that shit. Like, I'm still kind of mad about it.
That should save to my phone. That ain't going nowhere, man.
Fuck y'all. And Keto was the first person to send that shit around.
I can see you as the black Guy Fieri, yo. I ain't gonna lie.
How the fuck I'm gonna be a black Guy Fieri? How am I gonna have Guy Fieri hair on top of dreads? That's like that girl that had her hoodie on and then put a wig on top of her hoodie. That's how that shit sounds.
Hey, if you're a Chondro Bar Room veteran, you remember when Travis had the European wig when he had me on trial on top of the dread. So it can be done.
On bar court?
On bar court, you keep that shit in the drawer right next to you, right there.
I actually don't. It's actually downstairs in the liquor cabinet for some reason. I don't know how it got downstairs. I don't know how it got in the liquor cabinet, but that's where it is.
I felt like I was on the auction block. You know what I'm saying?
No, you shut your ass up. All right, man. We're gonna let our guests introduce themselves. First, we're gonna start at the top. So we're gonna let CJ, aka Mr. Freedom Guys, we're gonna let him introduce himself first.
CJ Frazier from Chondro Barracks, just about an hour west of Chicago, and Illinois is where we live.
Hey, one half of Chondro Barracks. Put some respect on Matthew's name.
Yeah, shout out to Chewy.
Working. He was going to try to make it, but hopefully he's in the comments. Chewy. So we've been keeping for 4 full years, about right before COVID started. So we're still fairly new. Just have had one clutch so far. Working on some other stuff, so we'll get into that later into the night.
Okay. So we're gonna hit Turd Ferguson, aka Adam Salad, next.
Adam Salad from Adam Salad Reptiles, aka Turd Ferguson, aka the best beard in the Chondro game. Yeah, you feel it?
I like that.
That might be true.
I like that.
That might be true.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, you gotta start hashtagging out of your post, Adam.
Done.
Best beard in the Chondro game.
I've been keeping for a while, man. Just almost 2 decades, but just venturing into breeding and shit the past couple of years.
Okay.
That's about all I got.
We'll get on to Mikey Marsh. Mikey Marsh, he don't have a beard. We gonna get him one of those little snap-on beards like the kids had in Little Rascals when they tried to go buy building materials.
I think my kid's got an Abe Lincoln one upstairs. I'll go grab that real quick. So I'm Mikey Marsh, M&M Chondros. Just like CJ, I started right when COVID started. Actually planned it out before COVID started, but shipped out the first one in March, like 2 days before COVID hit us. So I've been keeping for almost 5 years, and I had my first clutch last year. So, yeah, I think it's going good.
Okay. We're going to get on to Dimitri.
He had always shining.
What's up, y'all? Dimitri here, Art of Chondros. I've been keeping since 2008. Not a big collection. Had my 3rd clutch this September, and working on number 4 right now.
Okay, all right, man. It's good to see you guys up here together, repping your state. I forget. I think Dimitri. When I go back and look at it, it's been kind of like a rush. Like I think Dimitri had a clutch. Well, Adam Salad had a clutch first, and then it was Dimitri. Then it was CJ or Mikey, but you guys kind of all came in, and you guys we don't talk about it enough, but shout out to Illinois. So the first question
all
is,
5 of us. We came through that. We kicked that door in. You know what I'm saying? It was like
y'all
within
kicked the
like
door
a
in.
3 year, like a 2 or 3 year period. We just all came
I
through
say it's
that.
less than that. It might have been like 18 months, man. Y'all been putting up numbers. Pat wants to tell y'all about Keno's OnlyFans. It's called Micro Jordan. We'll get into that. We'll get into that later when we put Keno back in bar court again.
He said got taken down by YouTube.
YouTube.
I like that.
YouTube not gonna let it live, man. I don't know what it is. It's not us. We let it go.
I like Micro Jordan though. Micro
Jordan.
Jordan, I like that. I like that. I need
Micro Jordan.
I need the Jordan of the midgets. Little
I feel like
stuff.
if you doing OnlyFans with midgets and you're gonna be Micro Jordan, you gotta wear Jordans in all the video, or you gotta put that little wrist armband that Jordan had on. You gotta do it in every video.
I gotta go ball too. I gotta put the Mikey Marsh on.
You don't gotta go ball. No, you don't
No,
gotta
I got
go
a couple
ball.
jerseys you can get though.
You could be 80. You could be 86 Jordan, bro.
I could do that. I put the.
We'll just have a little bit of hair, you know.
All right, I got you.
Y'all ridiculous. All right, man. We're gonna start in reverse order, man. Dimitri, tell us about how you got into green trees. Give us, a little bit about that and to how your collection got to this point now.
I got into them just going to the NRBC show. I was lucky enough to stumble across the Chondro Coalition and just seeing some amazing animals on that table back in the day with Rico.
What year was that?
Rico?
2008. Actually, it was 2007. And then 2008, I bought my first Chondro. But that's what got me into the addiction after seeing some badass animals on that table. I got my first Chondro from the reptile house. It's like down the street from my house. And then after that, just started picking up a few here and there. And then just raised them all from Neil's. And then later on decided to breed around COVID time, so worked out pretty well.
Oh, it was about the same time I got my first one too.
Yep, that's where I got my first one too. So how old were they, Dimitri, by the time you raised them from Neo's between the first pairings?
She was about 10 years old.
Okay, so you held on for a bit. All right.
Yeah, real bit. Yeah, real long time. Yeah, I didn't rush anything. I wasn't planning on breeding. I just somebody hit me up and he's like, "Hey, you still got those animals?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Those they got some really good genetics," and he's like, "You should breed them." I was like, "All right, let's give it a try." Worked out well.
Okay. Mikey Marsh, tell us about how you got into the chondro hobby.
Yeah, so originally I liked frogs. The
you look like
frogs.
You like fucking frogs.
I don't know what that means, but
neither do I, but it's funny as fuck.
Sure, yeah, I like dart frogs, so just researching and looking up like the dart frogs, I stumbled across the green trees, and I like those too. But
so you like frogs or you like fucking frogs?
What?
Just so we clear.
What are you talking about, Keno?
All right, okay. I ain't the only one that heard that, but all right, go ahead. Never mind.
Anyway, Mike, you got to continue.
Off the rails already. So anyways, while researching the frogs and looking all that stuff up, I stumbled on the green trees and like those too, but that was a hard no at the time. And then just a few years later, I don't know, I was just bored one day and kind of looked them back up again. I was like, now I got some, mess around money. I'm like, oh, I'll dabble in this a little bit. So then I hit up Ryan and got my first import.
Shout out to Ryan.
Yeah. So that's kind of went downhill, I guess, from there. Started with 1, and then it ended up with like 30 now. So, yeah.
Hey man, I gotta ask you a question about the frog. I gotta ask you this question about the frog.
Go ahead.
Hold on. Did you play Battletoads a lot growing up?
I don't even know what that is.
The video game Battletoads.
No.
You never played it? Damn.
No.
I thought you would have played it. I played that shit when I was.
They just reissued that about 2 years ago, man.
Yeah,
Put it on Game Pass. I played the shit out of it. I'm a gamer. I can't help it.
All the time when I was a kid.
I played Frogger.
He said in real life. Running across the street trying not to get hit by
no, for real. That's how we cross the street in Chicago, man. Every other city I've gone to out of state, people use crosswalks. People walk to the corner to cross the street. We don't do that in Chicago. You cross where you cross, man. You know, cops will stop you in Wisconsin or Michigan if you ain't walking to the corner to cross in the lines, man. But we don't do that out here.
No.
You just cross where you cross, man.
Yeah.
Tell me I'm lying. I ain't lying.
Somebody running across the street like that in Memphis, they on crack. And they trying to get
Yeah, because you know in Memphis y'all don't got crosswalks.
We don't got crosswalks. It's either crackheads or it be the prostitutes trying to get to the truckers. Now they run their ass across the street and they don't give a fuck.
And what's with the red streets in Memphis? Why are they red?
Man, I don't know. But I tell you this,
that fucked me up though.
I don't know. It's weird to me too. I don't know why it's like that. But if you on a street and it's lit up weird, you better get the fuck off that street. Take your ass to your hotel.
Like, what's wrong with it if it's lit up weird? What you mean?
It's just like they got weird lights in Memphis. Like I remember back in the day, like there was like neighborhoods in Memphis that like would have like one street light, and then one street light would be like a weird color because they done shot the fucking street lights out. So when you would try to get to them streets at night, if you like the police or you don't know where you're going, you probably gonna get boxed in on some fucking Mad Max shit. But yeah, that was Memphis.
That's a wonderful life, bro.
Yes. Hey, you don't need to be in Memphis. Don't go to Memphis. All right, Salad. Tell us about where you began with Chondros, man.
Well, long-time keeper of many different fucking species, from 20 years in or something like that, man. But it was the Reptiles magazine that came out with the green trees on the cover. Between that and seeing the Chondro Coalition, like Dimitri was talking about at NARBC, and talking with Rico, that just like lit a flame, man. It was like nothing was as cool as the shit that I was seeing. So it took me a few years after that to get my first one, and I got my first one at the Reptile House as well. I think that was 2006, something like that. And then the collection took a while to grow because I'm a poor motherfucker, and took me a long time to get the money for cages and another animal and stuff like that. So well, that was the basis of it, man. Just magazine covers and then researching them on. I had to go to the library. We didn't have internet. This shit was for rich people. But the pops would take me to the library to do my homework, and I would just dip off and start looking at reptile books. That's kind of how it all started, man.
Yeah, I think we were all kind of like that as kids. We're supposed to be looking at some book for school, just like, I found a book with snakes, man. Fuck that.
Hands out, you get your work done. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Do they make kids do book reports in school anymore?
Shit, I don't think so, man.
Because they don't even make kids go to the library no more.
Nah, my son still do. Khalil still do book reports. They still got on the paper. I asked him what was the main topic, who were the characters, all that. He still got to do it.
Like actual pen and paper? Because like my kids do the laptops and all that shit that they give them now. It ain't pen and paper.
No, most of it on laptops, but yeah, it's like very rarely do we come home with something that you got to write on. It's usually most of the time it's paperwork I got to sign.
Do y'all remember when y'all read the books and you get a Pizza Hut pizza?
Yeah.
The little stickers.
That personal 8-inch pizza, yes sir.
With the red ass cups.
Yeah, man. Shout out to old Pizza Hut. Shout out to going to the library, man.
The school that Khalil was at last year, they were doing that for the perfect attendance. I think for not the quarter, was it after the second quarter, after the second marking period, you got perfect attendance. Both quarters, you get you right, man. Giving out personal pieces.
You would just copy the insert that was inside the book, but you'd reword it just a little bit, so you ain't had to read the whole book. You just read that. You know what I'm saying? On the cover and the last page of it.
Y'all are fucking awful. Y'all didn't read the damn books. You fucking cheaters. Y'all are fucking awful. I used to like going to the library.
Am I alone here? Did nobody else do that? What the?
No, man. I don't know, man. My mama was an English teacher, so she don't make me read that damn book.
Cliff Notes.
My grandma was too. I used to like to go to the library, zip off, go read Zane books.
What the fuck? Are those sex books?
Yeah.
Zane? Like Billy Zane? Like
what? No, Zane with Z-A-N-E.
What the fuck is this? So you fucking are you reading Skinamax books when you was in school?
Yeah.
With Fabio on the cover.
Hey, shout out to the Fresh Chronicles, Part 1 and 2.
Yo, he was reading the books with Fabio on it. Talking about dudes with throbbing wieners and shit.
Shout out to the Fresh Chronicles, Part 1 and 2. Shout out to Zane. Shout out to Zane books.
This has gone far enough. We're not doing this today. We're not. CJ, tell us about when you got into chondros, brother CJ.
Hey, Google Zane book.
Probably like everybody, it started for me pretty young. You know, some of my earliest memories were going fishing with my old man, getting kicked out of the boat, and catching turtles, frogs, whatever you can get around the pond, and trying to sneak them home. And there's heavy amount of like gardener snakes and rat snakes around here, so that was what we would catch was the gardener snakes, and I've always been attached to them. And Chewy, the other half of Chondro Barracks, when I was younger, he had these African fat tails, and I always remember going over there and seeing those. So that was like probably where the most pivotal like spark of like an animal that can be kept in the house, aside from like a dog. You always go to the zoo and you see some of these snakes and shit, and you don't realize they're within a phone call away. Now, obviously, but Chewy's got a couple ball pythons, and I've got the geckos and the crested, and we've kind of intermittent. We started with the green trees and picked up a few things, and it went south pretty quick. So then you start like figuring out like, okay, is everybody selling shit like this? So you start to resource, and then you kind of find out who you need to be talking with, where to buy, what to be using.
Yeah. That kind of is how it all starts out. You just kind of start building, which that kind of leads me to my next question. Like, I'm a fan of all you guys' collections. All y'all got some really good stuff. What direction did you want to go in when you first started realizing, man, this is what I'm gonna do? What direction, as far as the type of animals and the phenotypes that you start looking for? And we'll start with you, CJ.
Hey, if you used to catch gardener snakes when you was a kid, you was a real one, by the way.
Yeah, that was good times as a kid.
Just straight up, man.
They were by the hundreds here.
Yeah.
Legitimately. Like
especially close to railroad tracks.
Railroad tracks.
Railroad tracks. Yeah.
So we'll start with quick you know, there's a restaurant down the road in the alleyway, and it was full of railroad ties. That's where all the snakes were. Well, the neighbor kid was known to be, he was older, he was smoking his pot, doing his thing, you know. Well, the cops would run up in his house quite often. So he thought that if he would hide his stuff in the railroad ties, it would be good. Well, he didn't think there'd be a couple 8-year-old kids coming through there flipping the logs looking for snakes, stumbling upon.
You found some good shit.
Oh yeah, so you know, you get, you're like, what is this? You know, you take a little bit and you're like, well, you got to ask around and figure out what the hell is this. But that's how with the gardeners. But collection wise,
y'all start somewhere at 8. Okay.
For me, it just, you know, I like specifically started with like the blues and melanism. Right now, I'm more into like the calico phenotype. You can definitely transition from what you like as you start and grow and see and start to buy, work with, and watch things develop. But for me, it was, you know, I like blue and melanism and calico are probably my 3 favorite. Creeping up, you know, high yellows are awesome. Those are pretty hard to come by from like a red, you know. Those are, I would say probably like the most searched upon animal right now is like a clean high yellow is what people are after. Which Chewy, the other half, he's all into the yellows, you know. So he's built up a pretty vast collection of animals in the last few years. So it'd be fun to see which way the collection goes.
Okay. On to you, Turd Ferguson.
All right. What got me into it was your iconic sarong look, green snake, bold blue dorsal stripe, unbroken. Like nothing beats that, bro. Oh, I'm sorry, nothing beats that.
That's how I feel.
And that's a lot of what you were seeing back in the early 2000s. You know, I mean, you had your designer stuff, but people weren't bringing a lot of designer stuff to shows. You weren't seeing a whole lot of that shit. You were seeing more locality type animals. So, you know, the blue dorsal stripe, the blacktail poultry animals. That's what got me into it. Where I'm going now, kind of anywhere, man. I'm choosing a different path. I'm focusing strictly on yellows, and I'm trying to see what they can do. You know, you can get a lot of high yellow from yellow. Melanism, not so much. Some of the blue stuff, you know, there's a argument on the high blue and whatnot, but older animal yellow, like the blue and yellow neos, takes a little longer to pop up. But it's kind of all over the place right now, man. I'm just trying to see what I can do.
Okay. Mikey March, hit us off.
Yeah, kind of similar to everybody else. I mean, you know, the blues I think get everybody in because they look really cool, real nice bright blue dorsals or even just the blue line snakes. You know, that's kind of what got me in. That's classic yellow poultry. And then I got more into the reds. Still kind of like mostly the poultry stuff. I think pretty much most of my collection is poultry based. But I mean, honestly, I like everything. The high yellows are growing on me. I didn't like them at first, but now they're really growing on me. Gotta love the calico stuff and the melanistic stuff too. But for the most part, my collection and what I got going has some poultry base in it, so probably, you know, leaning more towards some of that blue and blue wash stuff. But I'd like to get into the melanistic and calico stuff because it's pretty badass. So
yeah, it always is. All right, Dimitri, let us know.
I didn't really have a direction in which way I was going with snakes. I just bought them just because I love the snake and how they looked and how they perched. And I didn't really understand the genetic stuff back then until recently when I made my first high yellow and my female Nike girl and Mary Jane. And I am trying to make art out of my chondros and see what I can get which with each pairing, with each male and which different female. So I'm not really saying I don't know which direction I'm going to go, but I do like the blues, the high yellows. I like the calicos and the males, of course. But yeah, I'm just trying to see what I can get out of my animals. I only had 7 adults, and I'm just going to work with them and see where it goes from there, you know?
And I got to say, that's a tough question to answer because there is so much out there right now to say, like, where do you want to go? Because there's so much stuff to work with phenotypically. You know, it's like, hey, we all love them, man. They're just any route you go is not a bad route.
No,
it's not. But there's a lot of people that they only want to go in a certain direction, and especially when you look at like generational like line breeding, like they only want to breed to get a certain thing, and it works for some people. Some people they know that they only want to do one thing. Yeah, most people don't. Like my collection doesn't look like that. My collection is all over the place, and I like it that way.
Yeah, I kind of amassed a little bit of everything, and that's you get what you like, right? You know, so I bought a lot of different shit because I like a lot of different shit, and we're gonna see what comes of it eventually.
Yeah, and that's what I like about all you guys' collection is just seeing the different stuff, seeing people have different stuff, and you know, saying, "Hey, man, I wonder what they're gonna do with some of this different stuff in the future."
Yeah, individuality.
That's what I like.
Yeah, I don't want to pigeonhole myself to like one type. You know, I think I did a fair job of building up a decent base of a lot of different shit, and yeah, I'm just gonna go for it, man. And there's not a lot of people working with yellows, so that's a clean palette, you know. So I feel like a lot of people who stick strictly with reds, blue is the ultimate goal. And I'd like to work outside of that. You know,
it depends though. It depends on what you. It depends on what you.
I'd say 85% go with red for the blue, because what could turn into an amazing blue animal.
You know, that can also be.
What you got against
that
blue
can
animals?
Also be a good thing, man. You know,
you don't like blue animals.
Oh, I like blue animals. I like yellow animals. I like black animals. I like green and blue animals. I like green and yellow animals. Yeah, there's a whole world out there.
I think that's one of the things that we all kind of seen when we first started getting into it. Is you would see all these different animals, and you know, you get kind of like lost in it, just like, damn, man, there's so much different stuff, and like, you know, especially when you look at some of the old lines and stuff, you're just like, what is this? What is that? So, I think a lot of people that, you know, they like variety. Some people don't, but a lot of people do. I'll let Keno ask a question to the panel.
Come on down.
Damn, Keno lost his notes already.
Get my pad. I have my pad around somewhere. Cash probably take my shit.
Yeah, right.
Because I didn't want to ask you, because I ain't had no basic questions. You know what? Let me go get my shit. Hold on.
Yeah, go get your shit.
Damn, Keno screwing shit up again. Trav, so when are you gonna make those sorors available?
Hey, Mike, you kiss my ass.
Which one? The yellow ones?
No, that red one that you just posted.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The red ones, they're all gone.
Oh,
they've all been picked up. And I'm actually wrestling with myself because my red female, I could have bred her in the fall, and I chose not to because my life is so busy right now. So I chose
the same one? Repeat?
No, so the red ones that we have now is from a yellow female, but I have a red sarong female.
Okay.
That I want her to get bigger. Mostly, I want her to grow. I don't want to breed her while she's too young because she's an import. So I don't really know how old she is. So I really haven't been messing with her.
Yeah.
But it'll happen. I'll make sure that you get one.
All right. Appreciate it.
I love you, man.
Thanks, Trey. I love you too.
Anyway, just for everybody, who has been the biggest influences of your collection and keeping?
Anybody else go first? Because I'm struggling with this one.
For me, I would say Pedro.
Okay. Pedro Kahina. That's how you say his last name. Yeah. Shout out to Pedro. We don't see enough of Pedro.
There's, who you like, who you look up to, or just kind of who, mentors you.
I mean, anything. Who you listen to, who you go check out who is that in your back pocket, who you always get right there.
Well, right now that's what, like right now with the Chondro game and social media, there's so many people having success because you can literally call somebody up and within seconds, somebody else's eyes and knowledge can pick up your error and fix it versus, the error being critical right in front of you and you're just never getting it fixed. But for me, I have like a huge arsenal, Chewy, Keno. I talk to Dimitri literally every day, Brennan. I talk to Brian Latimer. I talk to Adam Wilson often. I talk to Vinny. Pat puts in. The community is just so big right now that you have endless assets. And to me, that I think if you're failing with stuff and you're not willing to listen to what people are telling you, then the success is gonna far from because some things you have to be willing to listen to other people. So, like I said, I have a huge list of people. So shout out to all the people I just named.
That already been your list, dog. Adam, you got something for me?
You know a lot of people's lists, man.
Oh, I appreciate it. That's all right.
So, I guess I'll try to go next. I never had a mentor going up. Seeing right now on the screen, there's 4 more people that I knew in Illinois that fucked with chondros. I was late to the game. And yeah, CJ's right. There's a lot of influence out there. I think Pat's collection. I know he's got a lot of Biak, but the diversity other than his Biaks, I think, is pretty impressive. He needs to post more though. So if you're listening, Pat,
I agree.
You got some more animals to post for sure. Keeping wides, I kind of dial things in on my own, so it's a little rough. Many years of tinkering and shit like that. So, but the people I talk to the most is Mikey right there, Mikey Marsh. Me and that guy talk every day, bouncing shit off each other, sending pictures all the time. Yeah, and we'll have garage beers from time to time. So yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
You ever see you pictures of frogs?
I asked that.
No.
No, just my snake. Because I just kind of wanted to kind of point out how everybody has took a different path to snakes keeping and breeding, and we've all had success. And basically, kind of highlight, it's not really one way to do it with these snakes, but as long as you focus and you get a routine, it'll fall into place. Stick with it.
Well, shout out to you guys because
most of us is keepers first. So.
Right. Shout out to you guys because the people you have on your show, definitely you pick up a tidbit here and a tidbit there. I can't say I focus in on one particular person more than the other, but the quality of guests that you've had have definitely in the past couple of years, helped out my keeping, my breeding a little bit. It is also rough because you guys know with breeding, you can get advice from someone from Florida. That shit ain't gonna work for you here in Chicago. You got I mean, let's just be serious. You had the legendary Texas Chondro, which was a great panel, and but none of their advice worked. I actually picked the brains of a couple of those guys, and it didn't work just because of our locations and our keeping is so much different. And they're very successful. So it's nothing against them, but it just didn't work for me. So
6 months out of the year, we battling dry ass air in the house. Yeah.
I would say
you ain't kidding.
That's huge pivot. Find someone that has success and basically try to mimic theirs. Same thing. You send a Neo to somebody and it doesn't, eat, and they send you a picture and it's in a 12 by 12 by 18. The first thing you're going to tell them is to put it back in the 6-quart tub and then feed it and then go from there. So that's a huge point. Finding someone that you can, trust, bounce. For me, it's Dimitri. We talk every single day. I've been to his house several times. He's been here. For me, just seeing the way Dimitri kept his collection opened my eyes to just a few different ways of how clean you can really keep these things with everyday water change. The biggest thing that I noticed, is going with like offering fresh cold water. You don't have to do it every single day, but if you can do it every other day, if you're there, those snakes will come down when you walk away and take that cold fresh water and drink it up. Might not see them always drinking that water, but I guarantee you 99, they got to drink water sometime. It's not, some people don't spray their snakes. Some people they do. That's not the only way they're taking it in other than maybe a meal. I've noticed that, and that picked up from Dimitri. He keeps an extremely fucking clean collection. So that's where I would say that having someone that within your means of talking and maybe a drive length over and saying, hey, dude, can you help me out?
Yeah, I agree with
It's always a good thing. Support's always a wonderful thing. Mikey, let's hear about you, because you got an uncle that's close to you that you work with.
Yeah. So, we first got into it. We kind of researched together to get into everything. But I would say as far as like mentoring and kind of getting everything going, it was mostly Keno, because he randomly reached out one day and then started spending all my money.
Get the fuck out of
there. You gotta watch Keno, bro. You gotta watch.
I heard about buying all the RFAC stuff. No, I think it kind of it worked out pretty good, because I think we both like that RFAC stuff, and then kind of that's where it started. Is when I got that mail from Pat, not directly from Pat, but one of his babies, and then we kind of hit it off from there, kind of going, pretty much talked about everything every day, from sports to chondros to whatever. We didn't get into the midgets till later, but early on it was mostly snakes. And
then he used to harass me about White Sox baseball.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think that's pretty much mutual.
No.
But
rough year for you guys.
Rough year. It's been a rough while. But
rough decade,
I think
around this motherfucker.
Shit, at least. But
maybe y'all get Frank Thomas back, bro. He's doing the Nugenics testosterone commercials. He might be healthy. Come back and help out y'all White Sox fans.
Man, anything would help right now. But after a little while, and then you guys had the bar room going. That helped a lot with seeing what other people are doing, whether it's temps or just other husbandry stuff. I think that helped a lot. Some of the other podcasts and even some of the Facebook groups, when you filter out all the idiots. All
the idiots.
You could you could always get some good information out of some of the posts to figure out who's who pretty quick. And you could kind of use a little bit from everybody to get the basics down. So that was kind of like early on, and then breeding wise, it was pretty much mostly Keno. So he's only half hour away. So
that boy Keno.
Look at Keno, man. You just influenced everybody. Can I ask y'all a question? Y'all all talk to Keno a lot. Has Keno fucked up y'all algorithm with midgets?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Without hesitation.
I know what he likes.
Man.
You know what though? I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it.
No, it's fun.
I ain't gonna lie. I made it a safe space. You know what I'm saying? I know for a fact.
Hey, every time I get one, I send it though.
For a fact. Listen, look, I know for a fact. Some of the people that be sitting, I be getting people random midget videos from random people. I know for a fact some of these people be having me like midget fantasy, and I kind of made it okay. Look, I know I did. It ain't this many people like, hey, look, I found this video that reminded me of you.
I made it okay. I made it okay for people to like midgets. What?
Hey, I'm a pioneer this shit. You know what I'm saying? I know some of y'all. I know at least one of y'all on this panel right here. You know what I'm saying? Love them just like I do. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna say nobody's name. I ain't gonna point no elbows at nobody. I'm just saying. No.
See, Trent says you fucked up my algorithm. I don't think you fucked up my algorithm. I think you made it more interesting.
All right, man.
No, man.
This is a safe space for little people.
I don't want to see that shit, bro.
You can't lie. They
advanced,
bro. They've advanced, bro.
From what? What are you talking about?
They leveled up.
Do you think the midgets like with me and you as kids, right? They're not
No, they ain't built like they were.
I'm confused as to why you think that I was looking at midgets as a kid. Like,
they all
think that I was a kid.
They not all head.
I think I looked at midgets like they were Dodge Vipers. Like, one of these days, I'm gonna get me one of those and have it.
Come on, you didn't have that one in school. No.
Green never had.
We didn't have no midgets.
Pretty little woman around you when you was like about seven.
How many midgets did you have in school, Keno?
Oh, shit.
Like, that's the real question.
So I
feel like there was no midgets in school.
No, I remember the first one.
I just feel like you really like to watch the movie.
No, I remember her name and everything, bro, because this was probably like 2010, 2011. I went to my
kindergarten. Everybody is a midget, bro.
No, she had the bow-legged legs, bro. It looked like she was sitting on a medicine ball her whole life. So it was actually around 2000.
Always get in front of her and be like, I'm not going to roll the kickball to you from a distance. I'm going to roll it to you real close. I'm going to help you out, baby.
It was like 2011, 2012. I went to my cousin's high school. He went to Hope. And I went to for my grandma for the parent-teacher conference. And I actually saw her. And I was just like, it was just, the feathers came back, baby. Yeah.
The fuck is this?
Yeah,
Midgets versus Mascot.
She was level.
That is the greatest movie ever made.
I'm like, damn, like, hey, do you remember me? She's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah. I remember them legs. Shout out to Asia. If you out there, shout out to you and all little people worldwide. And the little people.
Get us back on the tracks, man.
Exactly. So, Dimitri, tell us about
if we got it. Hold on.
Tell us about who
Coleman.
Not doing this no more.
Listen.
Gary Coleman.
20 more seconds. If we got
He's a shack of midgets.
In the bar room that listen to the bar room, hit me up, DM me. I'm gonna make a group chat for us. It's gonna be a safe space.
This is perversion. This is perversion and technology colliding.
It's not perversion. It's a safe space.
Listen, get out of here, Dimitri. Let's get your take on the question. Not about midgets. Who influenced you? And you do. I know you deal with CJ a
lot. Who influenced me a lot?
Yeah.
I gotta give shout out at least to Montini. He did help me a lot. And
shout out to Joe.
Joe.
You know, Joe. Well, me growing up in this game, there was really nobody really I really talked to. So a lot for me was trial and error, and a lot was the MVF. Just searching and you know, the Greg Maxwell book. I also have the Rico Walder instruction manual. So just keep reading, and going through the MVF, and a lot of trial and error, and you know, just learning my animals. Just seeing how they're perching, on the heat, off the heat, what they're doing, just constantly keeping an eye on them, and then just going from there, you know.
Okay. Shout out to Joe Montini, man. He's a good guy, man. We're gonna have him back on here eventually. Joe's crazy, bro. I love Joe. When he was here, he was talking about his self-defense gun. I was like, if only Joe had a real gun. I was just like, it's probably good that he don't have a real gun.
I didn't really have anybody.
All right, man.
You know, so
I leave Joe alone.
Joe and Janovich, them two, pretty much. But now I talk to CJ all the time. You know, we exchange everything. We talk about a lot of stuff. You know, we'll talk about the breeding in a little bit too. So how it's worked out.
It's good to have support, man, because a lot of times, man, you just don't know the direction that you're going. And you got to bounce it off people. Yeah. It's good that you know people that have done it for a little bit longer than you or a lot longer than you, to have them in your back pocket. You can just reach out. So I want to go into I thought you was about to say something about midgets again. I got a question for you guys. So I want to know when you guys
back, we can double back on that.
We don't. Nobody wants this. Nobody wants to talk about this. Good. So I want to talk about you guys. You guys had decent collections, and you at some point in time you guys turned the tide. How did you guys prepare for your first breeding cycles, from, you know, light cycling, temp cycling, food cycling, preparing the equipment that you got, and, you know, the process that you went about incubating eggs to establishing? And we'll start in the middle somewhere. We'll start with Mikey Marsh.
So the first go around with breeding, Keno came over and picked up my mail. So I guess that was kind of the first part. So I didn't have to do nothing on that one. Just turn over the mail. The second time, the second, so my first pairing, I picked up the incubator in March at the Tinley NARBC in March. So I picked up the incubator so I could get it ready over the summer and make sure it was all dialed in, you know, to the right temps, holding the temps, you know, where to put the probe and testing the egg box. So I did that over the summer before I paired them up. So I got that all ready, kind of looked at what everybody else was doing as far as like their egg box and their temps and different things, and just kind of came up with my own idea for that. Based off what other people had that worked. And when I tried my first breeding, they didn't have any of the sim containers, so I kind of had to make my own. But
yeah, that's usually how it goes.
Yeah,
buy some containers. Only use some containers. They are not available.
They weren't available for like 6 or 8 months or something.
They weren't available for a long time.
So, so I made I think Alum made the one out of the Walmart shoebox, and that's what I did.
Shout out to Alum.
It worked out pretty well. I you know, preparing preparing to put them together, I just kind of looked at where their shed cycles were, and then kind of came up with a plan as far as dropping temps and everything around that shed cycle in the fall, and then to pair them up afterwards. So the female was due to shed like mid-September, late September, so I just figured we start dropping the temps early September. She would shed out, and then I should be good by late September, early October to put the male in. So that's what I do with temp cycling, and then I just up the feeding. I went from small rats like every 3 weeks to large mice every 7 to 10 days, depending on what their activity was. So if they were locking and showing interest, I didn't feed them. But as soon as they'd separate for a day, I'd pull the male and offer food. And honestly, everything went pretty smooth with that pairing. So that worked out. They locked like 10 or 12 times from late October to early December, and then she refused in early December. So yeah, it worked out pretty good.
So, how'd you go about incubating the temperature that you incubated at?
So I think Bill does 87.5. A lot of people do 87. And
I do 87.5.
And some other people do like 86.5. So I wanted to do something kind of in the middle. So I did 87.2. I thought that would give me a little bit of leeway each way. So if it dropped like a couple tenths of a degree, it was still in a good range. If it went up a couple tenths, it'd be still in a good range. But being in my basement, I figured it'd probably drop more than it would go up. So I wanted to be a little bit more on the high side just in case there was a bigger drop one day or something. So I went with 87.2 for the first like 40-ish days, and then dropped a couple degrees and then dropped a couple more degrees. So I think it dropped dropped a half degree and then another half degree. So I dropped from 87.2 down to 86.2 for the last like 4 or 5 days. And then the first 3 pipped on the night of day 49, and then the rest pipped the next day, and then they all were out by day 52.
Okay. CJ, let us know.
So the first go,
See,
everything kind of went as planned. You try to hit them with as much food, get them to go on the breeding. And I think for like fall sessions where we're at, a good time to introduce is, probably within the shed cycle after your summer, end of July, end of August. As soon as those temps start going from the hot humidity down to the lower cool nights, I think that's when a lot of times you'll see your males cruising. So we kind of played it off of there. Introduced the male, had locks within the first few nights. Everything went to accord. Didn't really feed heavy in the first season of the breeding with her. She only took one meal in between from her first lock to when she started to refuse. So it was pretty quick. I think I timed it almost perfect. She, from first lock to ovulation, was 45 days. She did everything up to par. She did her pre-lay shed. Started to get the nest box. I think where I effed up is I pulled all perches, but during the day when she would be out seeking for heat, I had the heat ready to put the perch back into the top part, so she would perch during the day. So day after day after day went by, I had a couple situations like lay box wise because I didn't really know what she was going to choose because she just didn't settle. So she went down the one night, started laying, settled under the log, and you could see on the camera she was settled there for several hours. She just started bailing. So I went down and I shined my light to see if she was laid anything or she just couldn't cut. So she had laid 6 eggs, 5 fertile, 1 slug. So she immediately bailed. So I just grabbed the eggs right away and let her finish her night. She went back under there, tried to do whatever she tried to do, couldn't do it, started to prowl. So I forced her into the lay box for a few days, got a hold of the vet, tried to massage and see what was in her. She was 1,500 gram female, so I knew 6 eggs wasn't it. I couldn't feel or palpitate the eggs because I just don't know what that feels like with a huge female. So I tried to do what I could, gave her back, and by the time we got to the vet, she had just didn't make it to the vet, and she had basically one egg, one slug, kind of went like this in a V formation, got stuck at her cloaca, and just it would not come out. She had 10 good eggs stuck behind her trying to. So I think she was trying to push it out, and I think the egg ruptured, aspirated, and I just was not removable, and basically died of being egg bound within I think 9 days of when she laid her first eggs. The 5 eggs incubated, put them in the incubator at 87. 3 I run, similar to Mike, gives you a little bit of leeway. First 40 days, you don't touch anything the first 2 weeks, and then let it rock 40 days. I popped a couple air holes, bumped down to 86.5. I didn't have anything piped till day 52. I think everything was perched by day 55. Everything 4 established within the first few weeks. 1 kind of was a run. Started slow. Took a few geckos to get it going. Switched it over to the pinkies, fuzzies. I think that switching the fuzzies from the pinkies is a huge boost for those guys. Getting them to that size is like kind of where your safe ground territory is, where they're getting some growth on them. They're going to be a year old here on Valentine's. They're all going to keep everything basically. It's a first clutch. The female ended up dying, so at this point, we're not really trying to sell stuff to make an income, so we're just kind of grow stuff and sit on it and see what happens. I have 2 females.
Hey, CJ, asking about that female. I don't mean to cut you off, but I ain't want to get lost because I wrote it down. But she got egg bound. Talking to that vet, like I guess on the follow up or whatever, is there a way that you could have saved those eggs? Maybe if you say, obviously you didn't know then, but knowing what you know now, if you would have brought her in, maybe like the day of or something, is there a chance you could have saved those other 10, or was that just impossible?
It's so hard to say. 10 eggs is a huge amount of eggs to be removed from a female. Maybe if the first egg was immediately aspirated and pulled out by myself or the vet immediately within the first few hours of when she's trying to push, I think she started to stress out, and I think she the stress is just going to push them overload. You could tell that she was trying to figure out what she was supposed to do. It was kind of sad to see. The vet said the success rate with those is probably way less than 50%. You're going to cut on them, you can have sores. I know people have done it. I don't know if the eggs would be good. The temperature of the female could be swinging from up and down, causing issues within the development of the embryo and stuff like that. So the eggs, you could tell the eggs were super viable, and that was 10 days after she had started to lay, and you could tell that the eggs were still good. So you just, I don't know, it's hard to say. Had I taken her in the first day, if it was that situation, I think I'd try to take her to the vet immediately, but try to take as much information as you can, and it kind of seems like it's a reoccurring issue for people. I know a couple of people that are actually going through that issue right now as we speak. So this year, I just hammered them with food at the same time of the season. You start to see them swell up, follicles, and I think that's right when you got to go. Like Dimitri said and everybody else, you got to watch your animals, know what you're doing. If you're just pairing and you're going to be gone for 12 to 16 to 18 hours a day, don't expect super success. You're not going to get that. Watching your animals, knowing exactly when to pair them, hitting them with the food, conditioning. I think that's a big thing, is getting them to, if they're going to lose 200, 300, 400 grams going into this laying period, if you can put as much, 300, 400 grams within a full condition cycle period, knowing that she can lose that's probably going to be better for a female to be conditioned going after that laying period. So that's one thing that we did, was try to make sure that we don't want to use like huge meals. We would use, that was the thing that Pat reminded us at Finley, is you can feed smaller meals more heavy because they just digest quicker and they move through the body quicker. So the biggest meal item we'll feed is a weaned rat, and only the females are getting that. So large mice is usually what we feed for the males. Just watching your females dropping the temps. We had 2 females just ovulate. They're both day 18 and day 16 post ovulation, so they're going to shed in the next week and then basically go from there.
Okay.
Right. Congratulations on double ovulation, by the way.
Thank you.
Listen, man, I dealt with having an egg-bound female. It's rough. I lost mine too. She was my favorite female, man. She was my favorite snake that I had in my collection. So it's hard. You don't know. Nobody can really tell you.
She was a cyclops female too, damn.
You can do everything the right way. Have a successful everything, and she dies from an internal infection. It's just so hard. It can be done. It can be saved. It was my first animal. It was like, oh shit. For me, those first 9 days was like pure panic, straight stress. You can tell things aren't going the right way. And the snake and the vet's only like, there's only so much we can do. If you want to bring it in and we cut a hole in the side of the snake and try to remove them, or we stick the, whatever it is to aspirate them and try to remove all of those eggs. I just think that if people are having that issue, I think if you have someone that knows how to deal with that vet-wise, I would say that's probably your best bet. But people have had females lay a couple eggs and then go 4 or 5 days and then come back and lay more eggs. That didn't happen for me. I tried to, wait for that and allow that to happen. It just didn't happen. Is that on me? I'm not. I'm not sure.
I wouldn't say it was, man. If we haven't figured out how to get with humans to have birth like flawlessly with all the technology we got, I damn sure wouldn't count on it with snakes, man. That's just how it goes.
Oh, certainly.
Young Turd Ferguson, let's hear from you.
All right. Well, first pairing, I just completely fucked that up. I knew nothing of breeding. I didn't talk to anybody who bred. It was my buddy called me up and he was like, "You still got that female?"
Hey, shout out to people who fucked their whole first clutch up.
So yeah, seriously. He was like, "You still got that female?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "I got a male." And he's like, "You want to try something?" And I was like, "Yeah, fuck it, why not?" And we just threw them in together. And we threw it in with his male, who was also siring a clutch from a female that he had. And I now have that male in my collection. But yeah, I just happened to like take her off feed for a while because I was like, man, she's getting a little too big. So it was almost like I food cycled her without knowing, right? We threw her in and immediately fucking locked. Both girls ovulated. I ended up being like, man, ain't nothing going on. I put my female in his collection, which I'll never do again. But I'm like, ain't nothing going on. I want my goddamn snake back. So I brought my snake back. And 2 days after I brought my snake back, she ovulated. And then like 2 days after that, his female ovulated. And I was like, oh shit. All right, this is going somewhere. And I was worried I was gonna miss an ovulation or something like that. But you guys know when you see it, you see it. You'll never mistake it again.
Hey, you are lucky as hell that move didn't stress her.
Oh, well, hold on. I told you I did fuck my first clutch up. So don't get ahead of yourself.
Don't thank me
yet. So yeah, she laid for me, and I want to say she laid 23, and about halfway through that incubation period with my homemade incubator, I think it was like day 35, day 40. By that time I lost all my eggs. They all just started molding and fucking crumbling and just went to dog shit. My incubator wasn't the greatest. My airflow wasn't good. I built it well, but with the size of a shoebox, it allowed no air to come around this. Like the shoebox was a tight fit on each side, if you know what I'm saying. So it didn't allow airflow. So like it was like, was it because she was a first time mom? Was it because the airflow was bad? Was it because of the stress of the move? You have no idea. But regardless, that first clutch was just jacked. You know.
What'd you build
After
the
that,
incubator out of?
I ended up selling it to a ball python breeder. So now, mind you, I did hatch
No, I'm
eggs.
saying what'd you build it out of?
A fucking pawn shop fucking wine cooler. And I just took the condensers out and sealed it up, threw some heat tape in there, put a herpstat in there. But like I said, it was just too narrow side to side. I had enough room front and back, but side to side, like you could tell the fan up top that I put in there that it just wasn't circulating around the box. You know what I mean? And that design flaw on my part, but that was the first time I tried building an incubator. But I did hatch eggs out of that incubator 2 years later. So learn some things about that time is when I started finding podcasts and other people in the community as far as Facebook groups and following you guys on Instagram and fucking the beginning of your YouTube career here, and started picking up little tidbits. And that's when I learned about cycling a little bit more. And then I cycled the same female 2 years later, and got a smaller clutch, but much bigger eggs, much healthier looking eggs. And the majority of them made it full term. But what I think I did, and we beat ourselves up over this, what goes wrong and shit like that. I was supplementing, and I had a lot of failure to pips. You saw the egg tooth marks on the eggs and everything, and I think the shells were just too calcified, and they could not get out. So I think that was my mistake the second time, and I am not supplementing this time around. I'm just all natural for this upcoming season here. So we'll see the difference there and see if it works or not. It's all trial and error, man. And like I said, I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have an ear to lean on for a lot of this. I do now, but back then, not so much. It's just trial and error. So, cycled again this year. Ovulation this year. Had a prelay shed yesterday. With my sarong, my other pairing, nothing happened. I can't tell if I just have her timing off or the male is just a lame duck at the moment. So that's still to be determined. We'll find out. But I had a prelay shed last night, so something's moving in the right direction. And a much better incubator this time around. I ditched the homemade one. I got a Wilbanks. It's one of the 4 foot tall one. It's more than I'll ever need, but what the hell?
Those Wilbanks incubators, when you see them in real life, you're like, this is some fancy ass shit right here.
Hey,
Bro,
you know what? I gotta.
Tinley last October, that shit was immaculate.
Dude, I gotta call a lot of people out. We'll sit here and we'll drop $5-6 grand on a snake, but sweat when an incubator costs more than $200. Bro, spend the fucking money.
Yeah, it makes
like
sense.
For real. Like if this is what you plan to do, why is $200 or $300 for an incubator? Like, oh my god, I'll just build my own. But you're gonna drop $6 grand on a snake here, $6 grand 2 months later, $6 grand. Come on, bro.
I built
Spend
mine.
the money.
I have a sea serpents, and I liked it. It just was too small, and I felt like I could build a bigger incubator with more airflow and
That's
wider.
what she told you.
It was wider. Yeah, she did tell me she needed more airflow. It could take wider tubs. So I do believe that you can build a really good incubator.
And I do too. And I just failed at it.
It can't be small.
Yeah. I tried going the small route. It didn't work. I said, fuck it. I'm going to take the guesswork out of it. I'm going to spend the money. And it's worth its weight in gold for sure.
Yeah, I used a 2x2 cube hot box. I wouldn't stick more than a clutch in there, but the way I have it set up though is my fan blows right over the top of the lid of the sim container. That's how I did it the first time. I always had constant flow. The humidity was 99%, would drip out the front door. But like you said, it's drier than hell.
Yeah.
If it heats on here, I need that thing pumping. So I technically have a wet box. People can have a dry incubator, you know, for when it, to me, like I get building and stuff, but I've had, you know, so many people have had success. So I'm just going to follow what works. For me, these things work. The first
my incubator the same way.
Fuck these eggs up.
I should be dripping water.
An incubator that maybe I'll switch.
Yeah.
Dimitri's got a different type of incubator. His runs high humidity. His would be a wet box too. And he's had success incubating.
So do all you guys here on the panel, you all run a wet chamber? Because I'm running a dry chamber wet box. The very first time I tried the wet chamber, and I dealt with so many mold issues, it was ridiculous. So I decided to go a different route, and I had more success the second time.
I got a wet chamber. I got a wet chamber, and I got airflow on my egg boxes.
Yeah.
So you're talking about it's the full swing door open ones, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So I know a lot of people use those for geckos. And a lot of those guys say that works good for their cooler keeping because they keep their geckos at the 68, 70 mark. So as long as you can keep the humidity, like going into your next clutch, that'll be your thing to watch is if you need to know that if you need to have a 6-quart open water on the very bottom, pushing more humid because it's 4 feet's a lot of air to keep humid if you don't keep it the right way. So that's why with a small box, and the way I set it up there is I look at it as like the air goes right over the sim lid like this and then back up and then right up over and then back up. But I also
see how you got yours, how you just explained that. I got me a water basin at the bottom now.
Yep.
So it's always blowing up.
Correct.
So my door be dripping. That shit. You walk past it, and every couple of days when it's going, you gotta wipe off the edge right there. I keep it wet.
Mine has like mine's like one of those drink like when you go to this like a liquor store, those drink coolers that you see. So mine's like 6 feet tall, but it has like a drain plug at the bottom of it, and I run my water at the bottom, but I also run water at the top, like at the very top. So I got open water at the top, open water at the bottom, and my fans pull from the top. They pull from the top, go down, hit the bottom, and then they push that water up. So like mine's constantly wet.
You got fans at the bottom too?
Who, me? Yeah, I got open water above my eggs.
So
I guess it's on a rack.
Closed, but yeah, I guess so. You need the humidity at the top and the bottom then.
Yeah, I push it all the way. I want the chamber to always be as close to 100% as possible.
Same. That's what I look.
And it's a lot of
with
space,
the chamber,
open space.
With the chamber being that wet, right, and you're getting condensation on the glass in the front of your chamber, what is the ratio between when your box starts building up humidity? You know what I'm saying? Like, because there comes a point where you're not able to see through your glass. So how are you able to check on your boxes, make sure your box is not building? Well, that's you're opening it all the time.
I got a squeegee.
Well,
you
don't
here's the
open
thing.
it and
My
let
first
it
clutch,
sit there and let the heat swing down temperature. The good airflow inside the incubator is not going to cause an issue. The swing in temperatures up down drastically.
Yeah.
That's why you put the water bottles on each side so that thermal regulates everything. So instead of that sucking out, it's sitting in the bottle. So I mean,
but like.
I didn't have.
To answer your question though,
I didn't have condensation with the first clutch in there
at all.
I didn't have condensation on the egg boxes at all. The first clutch. Now the second clutch, I had condensation that I ran in there, but the first one, I didn't have condensation at all on the egg box. So that wasn't an issue for me.
I think every like probably 4 or 5 days, I would had to wipe the lid.
I was going in like every 3 days, and
okay, yeah, with the dry chamber wet box, it was about every 3 days. But I was also having to use the smaller sim containers because that's all that was available at the time, right? So I had my clutch split up in 2 different boxes, but we were lifting them lids every 3 days to wipe the condensation off. Now, when I did a wet chamber wet box, the whole front of my incubator would build up with condensation even faster than my boxes. But then now you can't see, so you're forced to open it, get the water out of there, close it before you can even see what's in your box. That's why I decided to run a dry chamber wet box this time around. Does it make sense? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, maybe just a little bigger.
Yeah, but my egg boxes are huge.
Well, I got bigger ones this year.
This wide.
That was that droughted sim containers that Mikey was talking about.
I know what you're saying though. When it builds up like damn near 100%, you can barely see through it. But honestly,
yeah,
that don't bother me because I know that if my chamber is like that, and I got all I really need is airflow of my eggs so they don't mold. Sure, that's exactly what I want. I want it to be, damn near, so crazy, so basically perspiring so much that I can't barely see in that front lid.
But then how are you keeping an eye on your egg box and the droplets building up on the top of your egg box is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? If your front is that
clouded, that's what I'm saying. Like every 3 days, I'm automatically going up in there
because what I'm trying to get at is I'm trying to fuck with the eggs less than I did last clutch. I don't want to be opening it as much as I did, which was every 3 days.
What I learned from Pat and honestly a lot of breeders is good eggs is gonna hatch.
Yeah.
And as long as you're not handling them, moving them around, doing all this,
touching them.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But if you go in there, you open your lid, take the lid off, and you don't even move your damn box, you just take the lid off, ease the lid off, wipe that and put it back on there. You're not hurting your eggs at all, man. That ain't gonna hurt them.
So
what you do, that take you probably a minute and a half, 2 minutes to do that, and then you wipe that door off and close it right back up.
But yeah, okay, all right.
Yeah, I didn't.
So I had more condensation issues with my sea serpents than I did with the one I built, and that thing used to build up humidity like crazy, and I use way less water. But I will also
think those
say
sea serpents built up. It built up humidity so bad that it blew the fan, right?
Yeah, it blew the fan. But I would say this: variable fans. Like if you can change the speed of the fan because you see so much condensation, then that is a big help as well, as being able to change the speed of your fans. But man, let's get to Dimitri, man. We've been going on about this.
Sorry, yeah. Dimitri, go ahead.
Hey, nah. Hey, that was one time where we had a good subject. It didn't go off the rails.
Yeah. It's still time. It can still go off the rails, and Keno is still here.
Wow. That's racism.
Usually it's Keno. Sometimes it's me, though.
Just blaming black man. I understand. I'll take the arrows.
All right, so my first attempt at breeding was in 2022. And when I paired my animals, it was in late November. But that year, for some strange reason, we had like 90-degree weather in November. So I think that the animals never took. So I just separated them. And then I paired 2 different animals in 2023. And everything went well. They locked. She gave me 7 eggs, but from being a beginner breeder and not knowing, I'd never set up my incubator. And I just took the eggs out, put them in the sim container, and put them in the incubator, ran the incubator that same day. And I think that's the reason why I lost almost all the eggs. I did get 2 to hatch. I got 3 to hatch. One baby died 6 months later. So I learned from that mistake. Then my second pairing, as soon as I got the female after the pre-lay shed, I just ran the incubator, prepped it, had it going, 100% humidity. And then I got a 13 for a 13 success rate on that one. So I did the same thing over for the third clutch, prepped the incubator. And I was just following the shed cycle of the female and watching her as she grows follicles. And then I knew that, yeah, it's time to throw the male in. And it was just perfect timing. I think it was just good timing on all those. And the last clutch, I tried something different. I fasted my girl for about a month and a half. And she shed for me, and it was the same shed cycle that she had on her first clutch. So I knew she was ready. And they've been locking every day since, pretty much. So that pairing is going great. So learning, just from mistakes and trial and error. But I think I'm dialing in pretty well right now.
Dimitri, did you touch on what incubator you used? Did it fly over my head, or you got a homemade one?
No, I got a Nature Spirit.
Nature Spirit, okay.
Nature Spirit, and
that
then
white one, yeah.
Yeah, and I did a couple little adjustments. I added an extra latch to the front door, and I weather stripped the door. And I run mine at 86.5 straight bake. Straight bake. The second clutch, the eggs, I pipped them all on day 52, and they all popped out on day 53. But my third clutch was the one where I was stressed. I pipped them a little bit too early, and pipped them on day 52, and then they didn't come out till day 55 or 56. So
damn.
Now, were you just picking the number, knowing that they generally hatch around day 52, and then that made you decide to pip at day 52? Is that how you approach that?
Yeah, that's how I approached it. But this time I'm going with as soon as the first one pips, I'm pipping the eggs.
And from my mistake, man, just check them out. And I wouldn't even say when the first one pips. I say the first time you see tooth marks, because like I said, I had like 6 failed pip, but there you saw the tooth marks. They were trying to get out. So maybe just keep that in your back pocket, and if you see one, that'd probably be a good time to cut.
Adam, those are fully formed too.
Yeah, fully formed, fully colored, everything, and they were trying to get out, and I had to leave for work, and I saw a couple tooth marks in the morning, and I was like, sweet, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna come from work, I'm gonna have babies. Came home, and those, you could see the eggs moving, you could see the snake moving around in them, right, and you could see the tooth marks, and I was like, oh, they got it. They didn't have it. You know what I'm saying? So I I learned my lesson. If there's tooth marks and they're moving, I'm going to go ahead and pit, especially with my schedule. I work, CJ was talking about, you're out of the house 12, 16 hours a day. That's me. And it sucks, but it's the life that I got to live. So I have to, prepare and do everything. So I'm just saying, if you see tooth marks, don't be afraid to cut that. And even Pat, I think, has mentioned that a time or two. Second you see tooth marks, go ahead. Don't be afraid.
Also, I didn't mess with the eggs like Keno was saying. I just put them in. I wait for the 2-week mark, and then I open, go in, candle them, make sure they're all good. I close it, and then I do actually open my my incubator and my sim boxes once a week. Wipe it down, let fresh air go in, and close it up. And I'll do that once a week, once a week, once a week, all the way through the whole incubation process. After the 2-week mark, for the first 2 weeks, I don't even mess with them.
Hands off. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, yeah. I think
I've never candled an egg like once it had like already been in the incubator for a while. Like, and my question with that is, have you seen any eggs that you candled at first that later on, like 2 weeks later, they weren't good anymore?
Yes, I can say I have. I seen some with extreme development, and then I saw ones that looked very viable, and then candle them, say 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, and the egg is like stark yellow. There are no red veins in it. So yes, I have seen that.
Yeah, and that's the only reason I do it too after the 2-week mark, because I don't want to keep dead eggs in there, and then they start causing problems.
And I left them. I left it in there just in case, but they definitely started turning. Yes.
Yeah, that smell it hits you, man. When they start going bad.
Yeah, once you smell it, you'll never forget it. Ever. That shit's brutal. That shit'll funk up your whole room.
The hatched baby scent stinks. They smell like fucking cat piss when they first hatch. Nobody says that. Like,
cat piss,
these fucking babies smell like they got piss on them.
You talking about that goop?
Maybe it's just
and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Goop. Until they have their first shed, they fucking stink. No, you can just smell it. You just smell it's like it's a scent that they have until they had their first shed. They smell pissy. It's not a good smell.
Owls in the sim container. So the babies, after they hatch, they roll around on the moist paper towel and they rub all that nasty stuff off on the paper towel. Yeah. I know people use sphagnum moss and stuff like that, but how often do they change it and how often do they leave it in there, But the paper towel, you just every day take it out, they get cleaner and cleaner and cleaner.
Yeah, that's true. They do like to go, because I have like a little rack, and then I have paper towels underneath there. And I try to keep them from going underneath there, but Chondro babies are kind of dumb, so they always wind up underneath there. But yeah, it's fucking stupid.
Fucking Chondros.
So we only got like a little over 15 minutes left. I got one last question. I don't know if Keno want to ask his question.
Go ahead. I'll do my last.
All right, so I'm interested in this because you guys are all in Illinois. So I want to know, do you guys have some make or break husbandry practices? Because you guys not only have colder temperatures than I deal with, you guys also deal with lake effect. So like, is there things a year round you guys got to deal with in terms of keeping these animals? I'm gonna start with Dimitri.
I used to keep my animals with cypress mulch, and for years after I just switched to paper towel, and I find that keeping paper towel is much more hygienic and clean. Man, they go to the bathroom or whatever, you see it, you clean it, clean the cage, put them back in. In the summertime, I don't spray the animals as much as now. Now I spray them at least 2 to 3 times a week. And I like CJ says, I'm a big fan of this. I change water, man, every day or every other day. I'm giving them fresh water, and I like to keep my animals very hydrated. And just the way I've been doing it, I keep them really, really clean. And I think that's worked for me very, very well. Very well. And I haven't had any issues. I did have my first prolapse my first prolapse since 2008. And I just corrected that problem myself. CJ sent me a video of what's that guy's name?
Ryan
Vladimir video.
That was a good video. Yeah, I watched it.
And I just used that preparation H with a little Neosporin. Took a little probe, grabbed the snake, popped it right back in. And I think that was due to my fault because I gave this snake a huge jumbo mouse that it never really eats anything like this before. So that could have been the issue. And
so that was like a yearling or so, right?
Oh, if you're an older male.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Because I always get my rodents from the reptile house. I always feed fresh mice, and I think maybe him switching over to a frozen thawed jumbo mouse maybe caused them an issue or something. But I fixed the problem, and went away.
Oh, okay. Mikey Mars, let's talk about make or break husbandry practices for you.
For us, our weather kind of sucks. Summers are hot and humid.
For sure, man.
So summertime's
Daisy
pretty easy
Duke weather.
It's 70s to 100 and 50+% humidity. So you're usually pretty good in the summertime. And my collection's in the basement, so this past year is a little bit drier, I think, than most years. But depending on how humid it is outside, I'll run a dehumidifier in the summertime in the basement and try and keep it like 55% ish, so it doesn't get musty. And then that way I could just dump a little bit of water in the puppy pads and can maintain pretty good humidity in the enclosures. The summertime's real easy, but then it changes real quick in the wintertime. And I think I got a humidifier running like full blast in the basement right now, and I'm barely getting like 35 to 40% humidity. So I run the humidifier all winter, and then every water change I soak the puppy pads, and that's been pretty much doing the trick. Get me through winters now. A couple of bad sheds here and there, but for the most part, they're pretty good. But I'll agree with Dimitri. I wish I could change waters a little bit more often, but the more you can do it, the better off you're going to be. Mine always drink the same night that I change the water. So I try and do like every 5 days. I wish I could do sooner. I probably could, but I try and do like every 5 days or so, and then every time I swap out the water bowls, I'm dumping some water on the puppy pads and keeping humidity pretty good, like 75 to 85%, and then it kind of drops off from there. In about 5 days, it'll be back down to like 55%, 60%, and give it another bump. But for the most part, doing pretty good with that. Outside of that, I don't think there's too many other challenges. It's just the huge swings in humidity.
Okay. All right, Salad Mander, aka Turd Ferguson, aka Meme Master,
aka the best beard in the Chondro game. All right,
aka the best beard in the Chondro game. Somebody's gonna hit you up about that.
Oh yeah, I think the only person that can hold a candle to me is high voltage, but I think this is, a little
I'll
bit
tell
better.
You something real funny about
you got Bill Hoffman. You got Bill Hoffman too.
No, he shaved his shit, didn't he? He used to have a beard, and I hit him up like, "What's up, my bearded brother?" And then next time I saw him on your podcast, that dude was clean shaven, and I was like, "Oh man,
that's right. You're exactly right.
I don't know. I saw him on Rose podcast. He had a beanie on, like an army surplus jacket, and like 2 AR-15s on the wall. I was like, bro, why are you telling everybody you got a militia?
You got throwing out peace signs.
Yeah, he was dressed. He was dressed like them dudes out of the Dead President's movie. Like he just got his Vietnam era Army surplus clothes. I was like, Bill, you better calm down. But I had a funny beer story that just happened to me. My homeboy at work, man, he showed up last week with a fucking beard, and I ain't seen him in like 3 weeks. I was like, bro, where you get this damn beard from? He's like, man, my wife's been watching Yellowstone, and she made me grow out a beard. I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck is this? All right, man, I'm gonna get off and let you explain your shit.
Yeah, not much to it, man. I hear, it's beautiful. We get to open our windows to our houses maybe 4 weeks a year. 2 in the fall and 2 in the spring. Fucking sucks. Summertime's definitely easier, because I mean, you have days in August and shit. You're hitting 90% humidity with fucking 100-degree weather outside. It sucks to be outside, but it helps with the snakes. Wintertime, I mean, our furnaces for the most part start kicking on sometime in October, depending on how long you can hold out. But October, I mean, if you think about Halloween, man, it gets pretty damn cold out here in Halloween. As a kid, I remember that shit being comfortable and running around like a fool. But nowadays, it's like that shit is like 20 degrees. We had snow like 2 Halloweens ago.
Snow.
Yep.
Yeah.
So our furnaces start kicking on a little bit earlier. So I'm an advocate of. Yeah. I'm an advocate of spray, man. I don't care what anybody says. I tried other people I respect. I tried their theories of just dumping water on the puppy pad because they live in a pretty dry area too. Don't work here. All right. I think I called Mikey or texted him and I was like, this is my first broken shed in like 6 years or something like that. I was distraught. I was like, oh, what the fuck? And it was my asshole of a snake too. So that was fun getting it off of him.
Yeah, man, you sound really
he knows what I'm talking about.
Nigga, broken shit.
Oh man, no, because you're getting
shoelaces.
He's drawing blood. He's shitting on you the whole 9 yards. It ain't fun. So spray. I take a lot of pictures. I don't post a lot of pictures because water stains, man. I scrub them fucking things like you wouldn't believe, and they just keep reappearing. But I spray, and I get great fucking sheds. I don't have a time frame. It's like, I don't know. I spray maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks, but once I hit that shed cycle, it's an every other day. It depends on how fast the water evaporates out the cage. It's just it's a go by feel thing. But between spraying and herb stats, those are your greatest saviors in this shitty climate that we got to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to herb stats. They don't seem like they want to die ever.
Just Rice, I don't care what you say. You call me a spray Illuminati if you want to, but especially in these cold months, I spray. I use warm water.
Hey, tell Chris to move up from Florida to Chicago, and let's see how all his emeralds do up here, right?
Well, he just said he said the CBR should have a beers versus balls battle. It's like, bro. Who we gonna get to do that? Who are we gonna get to do that?
So, right. We had to think of it. We had to think of like 5 balls and 5 beers.
We're gonna make Bill Hoffman referee.
Bald beard.
We're gonna make him grow his beard out again and make him referee. He's just gonna curse us out and tell us about how quick he can pull his pistol out on us.
It's got a hair trigger.
Don't listen. I know people, y'all see Bill and y'all think Bill might be little, but Bill is little, but he is crazy, and he keep that pistol on him. Don't try Bill. That's the last person I think I told Keto. I was just like, of all the people in the Chondro hobby, if I expect to get shot immediately or the quickest, I think Bill Hoffman would shoot you. The quickest. I don't think he gonna give you. I don't think he gonna think twice about it either. All right, CJ.
For me, basically all the boys spoke on that. So like,
I'm glad you discounted me. No, go ahead, CJ.
I keep everything on paper towels. I've tried puppy pads. It just doesn't. It's not like functionally. It don't work for me. I don't want to open the cage to stick my hand in there to see if the puppy pad's wet or not because I can't really tell with some of them. So I just use paper towels. And in the summertime, I get away with one sheet across and a 6-quart of water, about half full is what I do. And I'll spray my animals too. In the summertime, you get away with it. I only spray when I see the shed phase coming in. Wintertime, like you said, it's so damn dry. I double layer up my paper towel, and like I said, I'll dump water on the paper towel. And the double layer kind of does me a favor because it's 2 layers instead of just one. So that holds the moisture a little bit better. And like I said, when I know my girls are in shed or the boys or whatever, I will spray them every morning when they are in shed phase, especially during the winter. It'll dry up, those cages. If you have your cage dialed in, your cage should be, drying out within a nice 12 to 24-hour period. If you're, that's why we have to go in and continuously dump the water day in and day after, because we're allowing our cages to dry out and coming back to make sure that we don't keep a stagnant environment, because that's where all the issues are going to arise from.
Okay, it's good husbandry tips.
Yeah, you get a full blown 24 hours on one of your spray sessions. I get about 12 hours. No, I was asking CJ. He gets like a full 24 hours. I get like 12, and that shit's dry before I even come home from work.
Oh, if they're in shed phase, I'll hit them like with a heavy spray and a good wet spraying. Not that like my cage is dripping wet, but that next morning that paper towel is still going to be wet on the floor. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Not dripping from the side of the cage and perches, stuff like that. It's all dried up, obviously, but.
Okay, I follow you. I got you.
I have like certain cages, my black box cages that I have, a couple of those, they have huge ventilation. So I had to cover them up on the side because it was so much airflow is just pumping in. So once I covered those up, I've had 0 shed issues.
Yeah, I got to do that with my focus cubes. I love my focus cubes, but I did have to cover up some of the vents that they had, and there was a little too much airflow. But easy fix. Like, it's not a big deal.
Right.
And hey, shout out to fat tail geckos. I heard you mention them earlier. They should have gotten more love in the hobby. Fat tail geckos are pretty dope.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
I haven't.
There's a species that just never took off. Like it should have.
All right, Keno. You got one last question? You got anything that you want to ask?
Patience. Everybody knows these green trees, they require a lot of patience. So as we get up out of here, how's the patience that y'all have gained keeping these animals? How does that help y'all in y'all personal lives?
See things, having a routine is definitely going to be pivotal to everything. You can see what your ups and downs are, and like everyone says, watching your animals is probably the number one thing. So if you can watch your animals, you should be able to dial in with all the little things. Easier said than done, of course, but.
Oh, for sure. That's a brutal question. I don't know, man. How does it help me in my day-to-day? Stop giving less of a fuck. I don't know. Yeah. It's one of my things. I come home from work and, I work a swing shift, so it's all different hours of the night. But I come home and I sit there and I turn and I look at all my cages, and I got this pose the wife tells me to put my hands behind my back, and I just look. I'm just fucking looking and shit like that, And I'll do that for.
Shout out to Mama Salad too. Shout out to Mama Salad. She's really nice, man.
She's a sweetheart. She deals up with a lot of shit, but she's awesome. And Yeah, I don't know. Just patience, man. I guess I got more patience now dealing with the snakes than I had when I was a 20-year-old. I don't know. I guess it's a rough question to answer, Kino. Like, I don't know where you pulled that one from. I'm struggling to answer it.
Yeah, you want to get on
I think it kind of makes sense. I think the question kind of makes sense, and the reason why is because I think that over time you spend so much time with these snakes that like things dealing with the snakes, they do creep into your life. They
No,
do.
yeah, it's not a bad question. I was just struggling to answer it. That's all, man.
I care less because of snakes. Because I have snakes, I
Yeah,
care less about
I
a lot
think.
of shit.
I do care less. It's a great answer. I care less after dealing with these guys. I'm in no rush. I'm in no rush for anything.
Yeah, but
Me
sometimes
personally, it's taught me just to be more patient with everything, man. With the kids, with the lady, shit, with life, man. Slow down a little bit. That's all.
Yeah, maybe.
Down.
Well, you got to have patience because when you're feeding Neos, you got to be very patient because you want to get them off to the right start. Otherwise, you're going to mess up. You're going to be impatient, and those Neos are going to sense you, and they're not going to eat. And you're just sitting there pulling your hair out of your head.
Yeah, it's a good thing I don't have hair.
Yeah. You got to be patient with them because they shit every day, and you got to clean those tubs every day, pretty much, till they get a full mate.
Yeah.
Now, the wife says she's excited for it. She's excited to cleaning the shit every day because it's something. It's purpose. You're in there. You're doing it. I know it sounds weird, and people are like, "Oh, I hate doing it." We love these fucking stupid snakes, dude. We love them. We love them to death. I don't know.
I hate when I come home and I gotta clean like the shit, like when it's kind of like after lights out, and I know that motherfucker won't bite me. These fucking Neos, and it don't hurt. You just feel disrespected.
As long as it's not in the water, I'm not touching that shit after lights out. I'm good. I'll wait till the morning. If it's on the side of the police
sometimes you do gotta wait till the morning. He's not lying.
Now with the adults, I always wait till the morning. I'm like, these big motherfuckers, they be fine. I ain't whatever they done did in this damn enclosure. I'm just dealing with it tomorrow. But those Neos, you got to make sure that they always got fresh water, and sometimes they shit in the water. But then it'd be the ones that are feeding well that are just like, I can't wait till you try to grab this little deli cup. I'm gonna bite you, fucking bastard.
Well, they bite themselves. They bite themselves and wrap themselves just to do dumb shit.
Oh yeah, that too.
Hey, one of yours did that the other day. One of your Sarones did that. The female, bit and wrapped like 3 times. I was like, look at this stupid one right here. Yeah.
Or the ones like, yo, you just changed that water dish? I'm about to shit in it. Like instantly. Like I literally changed that 2 hours ago.
Those are my favorite ones. You gotta go.
Those are your favorites.
All the water. Go change all the water in the entire room. That's like 60 tubs, or like 60 tubs and cages included. And I was just like, you don't want to give me a day? See how much labor this was? It's like, nah, fuck you.
Not one day. You couldn't give me one fucking day.
Nah, they be like, fuck you, bro. Damn Neos.
Oh shit, that's how life be, bro.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys a question. I know you guys are trying to get out of here. What are some of the things y'all picked up from your guests? People you've had on. What is something that you picked up from? It could be anybody. Give me
from
something.
the guests.
Yeah.
We learned so much. A lot of it's hard to like say because we learned so much. I think one thing that I would probably say I learned that I tried. I don't know if it was the best thing, but I didn't know that I could just take a gravid female and put her in a rack system until I talked to Ryan Young. So I did that because my female, and this was the one that got egg bound and died. Like
I was gonna say,
I don't know, she was
didn't
all
we
over
just
the
talk
place.
about that the other day? Yeah.
Yeah, she was fucking. That girl was batshit crazy. I'm not surprised that all of it went bad, to be honest with you.
I don't think it was the act of putting her in the rack and even maybe the temperatures being a little bit low. I think it was a freak of nature, but you just put two and two together and been like, it was a little cold. She got egg bound. I'm just telling you what was going on in my mind when I read that comment. You know what I'm saying?
It could be. I don't know, man. I just know it was all bad. It was all bad from ovulation to the end. It was all bad.
Okay.
Trav, do you have back heat or belly heat?
What, for that rack?
Yeah.
It was back heat. It was so I got a rack. Yeah, and I think that's a part of it. So the rack that I built is got 966 quart tubs. So I just put her one. They're big enough. They're certainly big enough, but yeah. But that was the first time I didn't put a heating pad underneath the egg box because it was in the rack, and it just didn't work out.
Okay.
I'll say me myself. A couple things I've learned is number one, to be really patient with the females. With my females, I ain't gonna breed no female before 6 years old. 6 years old gonna be the benchmark. That's for me. That's it.
Okay.
I don't care. I don't care if I can breed her early and make babies early and sell them, and I don't care about none of that. I want my females to, when they breed, I want to be healthy. So I want to bounce back and still be my pet state. That's what this hobby is to me. So I never
I
want to
was
lose a
using.
female. Go ahead, Adam.
Oh no! I was using 5 as a benchmark, and I saw tremendous growth from a female from 4 to 5. She didn't go for me
Yeah,
this year, so
five.
it's looking like.
Honestly,
So it's looking like.
five used to be.
Yeah, it's looking like
I'm
she's
sorry.
gonna
I'm about
go
to.
6. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try her on year 6 because she
Yeah,
didn't go for me. I was thinking maybe March, try to pair her again because I do want her to pair with a certain male. Maybe the male's a lame duck, like I said earlier. Maybe not, but maybe she wasn't ready either. So maybe another year
yeah,
might do it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
yeah.
interrupt you. Go ahead.
Five was was my benchmark. But after seeing a female that breed at age 6 years old, and then seeing one breed at like 4 and a half, I think that the six, I like how the six bounce back, and the 4.5 year old it was a struggle bouncing back for her. Everything was the bounce back was just I don't want to lose a female from breeding from some shit that I can control. If I lose her, let nature to have it. If she got some rupture, whatever happens. But if
But
I
you
can
take that out
eliminate,
of the equation, yeah, by
yeah,
waiting until 6. I see what you're saying. I got you.
yeah, I don't want to rush it. And how to be, and the second thing I say is like real talk, like how to be a low key serial killer. Like keep it on the low.
Listen, don't let this man say this nonsense about these serial killers, man. Don't let him talk to y'all like that.
Hey, shout out to the Grinchy pipeline serial killers in the community.
We all learn from H.H. Holmes, man. It's, Chicago's first serial killer.
I don't feel like
Right.
Keno. That's the problem. You can't compare Keno as a serial killer to H.H. Holmes because Keno is definitely not building all those trap compartments and like secret passageways in the walls. Keno's
You can't
definitely
compare it
not.
to no serial killers. I'm not a serial killer at
Keno's
all.
definitely not doing that. H.H. Holmes was having too much fun. It was funny to him. That's what I really think. And I don't think Keno, man. No. Keno not gonna.
Yeah, I don't get the light out of like killing people and stuff. I don't do that. I'm just learning like the little tricks and stuff. That's all. The tricks of the trade.
What are you talking about? What this is? All right, man.
Hey, go. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, go watch that Dave D episode.
You're gonna stop it. You're gonna stop it right now. You're gonna stop it.
Go watch any of the episodes with Snake Spirit.
Listen, man, leave my friends alone. Don't do that. It'd be wild if it turned out that Keno was a serial killer.
I'm not a serial killer. I'm just saying every episode with Snake Spirit with Chris Rice is like a lesson on, never mind.
All right, man. Before we get out of here, man, I want to let everybody say their piece, anything that they didn't get to say. I'm gonna start with Dimitri. You got anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Not really. Just thanks for having me on again. It was great seeing everybody. So hopefully March, at Tinley. Travis, you should come up. If not, October for sure. Adam, we should meet up at Tinley too.
Will do. I'll be there. I'll be there March and October. I'm there. I got no life. That's where I'm at. Tinley's my shit,
Illinois has got to start competing with Texas, so CJ's on his way right now.
No. We ain't competing with Texas. Let Texas have that.
That's
let
a
Texas
lot
have
of
what they
people.
do. We're gonna do what we do. You hear me?
I want to be in the same conversation as Texas. I'd like to be in the same conversation. I don't say we got to be better than them. We got to outdo them. Texas is big as shit. And there's a lot of keepers in Texas. But let's be in the conversation. Let's make it there.
You guys got your own thing going.
We can't keep animals in the garage, so it's gonna be kind of tough.
yeah. Basements are only so big. You know what I'm saying?
10 degrees in my garage.
You can't even have a house here with a basement. Like,
that's rough, man.
It doesn't happen here.
See, I have a basement. I don't have a garage. You have a garage. You don't have a basement. It kind of equals out.
Yeah. I wish I had a basement, though. I miss basements. I don't know why. Anyway. Mikey Marsh.
Yeah, it's always fun to hang out. So appreciate being on again. Hey, Keno, how's your girl looking? She was looking a little thick the other day.
She's looking.
All right.
Mikey Marsh, I still owe you a package, man.
Oh, what? What you got?
We already talked about this.
Okay. Oh yeah. How were they?
I only had one of them. I didn't have the second one yet. It's actually been kind of cold lately, and I've been busy.
Oh, so how cold?
It's just getting.
You're a dick.
I'm not.
How cold?
CJ, we're gonna. CJ, you got anything you want to get off your chest before you get up out of here?
CJ.
Your mic's muted, CJ.
Shout out to everybody. Thanks for having us. Shout out to everybody that's underneath and doesn't really get to shine.
Listen, man, I appreciate y'all for coming on. I'm glad we got to see this side of Illinois. And you guys will all be back, hopefully. Like, that's up to y'all. But we would love to have all of y'all back. I don't know what Keno's doing. If he's getting some documents together or some shit.
No, I had to make sure the little guy wasn't running around, but it's like, I'm gonna tell you this, man. Let me get end on this. My second son is bad as fuck, bro.
He's just like his daddy. He's literally He's literally just a clone of his father.
Bruh. But my mama told me, you know how your mama was like, yeah, everything you did is gonna come back on you. And I like when
that's how I got silenced.
But before 2 years ago, I used to be talking shit to my mom like, yeah, I died. I don't know what you're talking about. How I got Khalil. Nah. Then cash came, bro. Now it's just, bro. If I could show you how my living room look right now, dog, you wouldn't even believe that I cleaned up this morning. It's just help me, dog. I got a terrible too. I need God. I need a prayer. Somebody, please send help.
It doesn't get better. It doesn't get better. My son, the older they get, the weirder shit that these little boys do. It's just.
I thought I had dodged the bullet, brother, but I wasn't. I don't think I did.
No. I think that we all stupid. The first baby is like the baby that tricks you, because like that first kid is always good, and then there's that second child that comes out and fucks you over. It's always the second kid. The second kid is just a nightmare factory. But you be all right though. You tough. He just like his dad, so you better just start, treating him how you would treat yourself. Take him to Portillo's, get him full, and fight him in the parking lot.
Fuck yeah, dude. Love me some Portillo's.
All right, y'all. That's been us for the Chondro Bar Room. We appreciate everybody for coming through. Dimitri, Mikey, Turd Ferguson, Adam Salad, and CJ. Follow all these guys. These guys all got heat. They're all doing great things. Big Illinois is on deck. And Keno, Big Illinois is on deck, man. But
yeah, we appreciate the sport, man.
Yeah, man, we appreciate y'all for coming to kick it with us, man. Y'all could have been anywhere, but y'all chose to come kick it with us, man. Hopefully, I get to see y'all at Tinley. Hopefully, I can get up to Tinley again. I had a good time kicking it with Keno. I got to see Salad and Mama Salad. Got to see Mikey Marsh. We went to go get pizza. I didn't get to see Dimitri and CJ, so hopefully I'll get to get up there and see y'all.
Yeah, let us know if we can make it, man. We'll be here.
We gotta do a Tinley dinner or something this year.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Get real scientific in that motherfucker.
No, everybody kind of breaks off in their own groups. It's weird. Because everybody breaks off in their own groups. It's weird. So we need to do something together for sure.
Okay. That's what I'm thinking. Like a science course.
We're not doing it. Just I know what you're trying to do. We're not doing this. All right, y'all. That's been us for the Chondro Bar Room. Chewy, great house. You better be here next time. But we gonna get out of here, man.
Illinois scientists out, all the Illinois scientists out there. Shout out to y'all.
Y'all have a good night. Stay away from the Illinois scientists, though.
All right. Good night, everyone.
See you guys.
Good night, everybody.
Y'all. Peace.